Let's call help. 1, 2, 3, 4. Help! I need somebody. Help! Not just anybody. Help! You know I need someone. Help! When I was younger, so much younger than today, I never needed anybody's help in any way. But now these days are gone, I'm not so self-assured. Now I find I've changed my mind and opened up the doors. Help me if you can, I'm feeling down. And I do appreciate you being around. Help me get my feet back on the ground. Won't you please, please help me? And now my life has changed in oh so many ways. My independence seems to vanish in the hate. But now these days are gone, I'm not so self-assured. Know that I just need your light, I've never done before. Help me if you can, I'm feeling down. And I do appreciate you being around. Help me get my feet back on the ground. Won't you please, please help me? When I was younger, so much younger than today, never needed anybody's help in any way. But now these days are gone, I'm not so self-assured. Now I find I've changed my mind and opened up the door. Help me if you can, I'm feeling down. And I do appreciate you being around. Help me get my feet back on the ground. Won't you please, please help me, help me, help me.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. Happy Wednesday, and happy third day of National School Counseling Week. I hope you're having a great week. I'm thrilled you are with us this morning. I hope you got a chance to check out that meme that we had up earlier, because I do feel like that's us sometimes. Our students are just they just need so much support in areas that are probably beyond the school counseling program's expertise. So today I have invited the very talented, the very knowledgeable, and super great Suzanne Schneider to talk with us. I'm going to tell you a little bit about Suzanne, and then I'm going to let her kind of take it from there. But Suzanne works with me at the South Carolina Department of Education, and she is the mental health program manager. So she actually is newer at the agency than I am. So I kind of like that about her because we're both trying to find our way together. But this is a new position she holds, and her job is to kind of link, be that link, that bridge between schools and mental health services. So I am going to hush and turn it over to Suzanne. Suzanne, if you would please introduce yourself and then get started. Also, let me say, I told you I'd hush, but y'all know me. If you have any questions as she goes along, you are welcome to put those in the chat. She can look at those when she's done. Okay, so Suzanne, it is all yours.
Okay, good morning, everyone, and happy National School Counselors Week. What you all do is very important, and I'm not a school counselor, but I've worked in the schools, and y'all just touch. I have 2 kids, and y'all just touch all students' lives. So thank you, and hopefully they're really celebrating you all this week. So again, I'm Suzanne Schneider. I am a licensed professional counselor, and I started with the Department of Education in August, and this is a brand new position that they are using ESSER funds to enhance school-based mental health services. So I've been doing a lot of trainings. I don't know if any of y'all have attended them. I am also available to do presentations or professional development. And I'm also collaborating with different organizations and agencies to always like finding new resources and making sure that, mental health is very important and that it needs to be highlighted in the schools. So I am going to attempt to share my screen. And okay.
We can see it.
Y'all can see it. Perfect. Okay. So, I'm not technical savvy. So I think most schools are doing SEL, but I always like to start out with just seeing how you're feeling today. So I like to do fun things because we can do the mood meter of the 4 quadrants, the blue, red, and yellow, and green, and look at the words. But sometimes it's just good to be like, which dog are you today? So you don't have to put it in your chat. In the chat, you can. But if y'all just look at it and, say, which one are you? I think it's good to check yourself throughout the day. I do in the morning while I'm getting ready. This morning I got here and was like, okay, good. I get to present to all of you. And I'm probably more or less, I don't know. I think all week I've been number 2, just ready to go. So y'all just think about that, and you can share it later, or you don't have to share it at all. Again, mental health at the state level. I'm looking over here at I don't have to do that. I don't have to look at that screen. So organize, present on mental health topics as requested or needed. I can present. I am working on my training calendar for this year. So I'm hopefully working on some really exciting things that you all can attend. Everything I do, I ask for renewal credits so you can get professional development hours, because I know that is very important. I mean, why waste your time? Why come to an hour and a half training and not get credit for it? That's important. Also, again, collaborating with agencies and organizations. And my goal is to enhance mental health resources in schools. I am very, very passionate about mental health. It is all things mental health. Everything I talk about, present, I practice myself and have a private practice. And so I'm just ever changing, learning, enhancing mental health services. Okay, so back to the SEL. So I think it's important if we're looking from the top down. So if you're working with your students, if you're not taking care of yourself, it's going to be really hard to be on top of it and take care of your students. So 4 key activities for strengthening adults' SEL competency would be strengthening the central office expertise, and that could be training, school leadership. It could be building, like team building exercises. I think sometimes we live in silos, and I'm not in the schools, but I know from some of my colleagues and friends that are, you might be out there on an island. You may or may not have school-based mental health services. So you may be the one that is doing it all. And I even found out earlier this week that some school counselors are having to do contact tracing. And that is an added other duty on top of everything else you're supposed to be doing. So also provide high quality professional learning for schools. And you also want to deepen your social, emotional, and cultural competence. If we are really paying attention to ourselves, I think it helps us be in tune more with others, and can also help us not only in work, but in our social life and at home with our families. because that, we're at work some of the time and we're at home with our families and friends a lot of the time. So I think you can use this in all areas of your life. And of course, building staff trust, community, and collective efficacy. So, if everybody in the school has to work together. You might learn something from this school, from the bus driver. I know I've gotten a request to do some training on mental health issues, de-escalation for bus drivers. They see the kids the first thing in the morning and last of the day. They see them coming from their homes. They see them interacting with other kids. So, that from the bus drivers, custodial staff, cafeteria, everybody. So building that trust. And if you aren't familiar with the SEL framework, these are the core competence areas and where they promoted. So I'm not going to spend too much time on that because I want to make sure we have enough time to talk, and also for y'all to ask questions and see how I can help you. But we're looking at self-awareness, which that's the ability, it's the ability to understand your own emotion, thoughts, and values. Self-management, the ability to manage one's emotions, thoughts, and behaviors. And we know that if it's hard for us, it's definitely going to be hard for our students. Social awareness, being able to empathize. I mean, that's part of our jobs with others, and being able to figure out, what is this person going through? How do we figure that out? So social awareness, relationship skills, building, establishing, maintaining healthy and supportive relationships. If we can do that and model that for teachers or educators and for our students and help them develop relationship skills, and then also responsible decision making. I mean, we all know that kids' brains do not develop until well into their 20s, so that can be a difficult one, but it's never too early to start. And our goal is to be able to teach them and for us to make caring and constructive choices about personal behavior, social interactions, and across the board, because we're all different. Okay, so here are some, I told Anna that I was going to pick out some of my resources that I use. Now there's a lot more at the end, and Anna will be able to give it to you. You have my email, my phone number, you can call me because it changes. If y'all ever need help, like finding outside resources, I'm talking about like private practice, counselors, psychiatrists. I have a private practice that for almost, now 20 years. So I would like to say that I'm well connected, but I do have a lot of resources and a lot of information. And if I don't know it, I can pretty much, I usually can find the person and plug you into them. So of course, South Carolina Department of Mental Health, that can be a go-to. And of course, they support children, adults, families statewide. They do community-based services. They have the mobile crisis response, the suicide prevention services with Jennifer Butler. They also have inpatient services. And hopefully some of you have school-based mental health services. So you've got some clinicians that are coming into your schools. If you don't, one of the things we are working on is seeing how we can help get that for you, get those resources for you. Then you've got I think it's good, like in your classroom or in your office, if you don't have some information around mental health, is that asking for posters, or even make your own posters, or even just having the numbers or the resources on paper and you can hand it out. The SC Hopes line is a great resource. The South Carolina Department of Education is, we give money to that. That's Department of mental health, and DAODAS, which is the drug and alcohol, like the DMH, and DAODAS is the, I guess, the parent of all the alcohol and drug facilities. So in Columbia and Lexington, Richland, Lexington would be LRADAC. I think in Kershaw it's called Alpha. I can't remember the rest of them, but unfortunately, a lot of our students, and especially if you're in the middle and high school, can be dealing with substances. We're seeing that a lot more. So the SC Hopes line is a good line for parents to use, for students to use. And that's one of the things that they help with COVID-19 challenges, feeling overly stressed or anxious. Just when you're feeling depressed and you want to call that, that's a little bit different line than the suicide hotline, because that would maybe be a little bit more intensive. You know, I'm thinking about ending my life. This SC Hopes line is a little bit different. And then, of course, suicide prevention, like I mentioned, with Jennifer Butler. If y'all have not met her, she does some really great work around suicide prevention. And I know that can be a really sensitive subject. There's a lot of stigma around mental health. There's also a lot of stigma around suicide. So suicide awareness. And then NAMI of South Carolina. I don't know if y'all have seen, if you did it before, and it's getting ready to be offered again. So they have the Ending the Silence, and those are webinars or trainings that focus around suicide awareness. They've had the ones for professionals, teachers, staff, anybody. They also are getting ready to start one for students. So if you've got students that are either interested in learning more about it or you think would benefit from Ending the Silence, it's free. They're going to have, there's going to be all kinds of opportunities. And they would also be able to come into the schools. And what they do, if they're going to do it for your school, they send a packet of information to everybody, and they do that training. It's a great training. And they also do the Refresh. NAMI also does Refresh and Reclaim series, and that would be for professionals, and they give you a lot of self-help techniques. They let you get to explore how you're feeling. I don't know if any of y'all have done the listening circles. It's similar to the listening circles, a little bit different. But if you're looking, the great thing about NAMI is everybody that works there has been touched in some way by mental health or mental illness. So they may be suffering from a mental health disorder themselves, or a family member or something. So they really know what it's like to have a mental illness or to be dealing with that. Then you have Mental Health America of South Carolina. And they are just a really good resource to find out information about statistics and what's going on, because there's a Mental Health America. And so that's just another good resource. And then American Foundation of Suicide Prevention. It's not under DMH. It's actually, they have a nationwide chapter. A nationwide association, and this one is the South Carolina chapter. And that would be, so if your parents or you were interested, maybe you had lost a loved one to suicide, or have dealt with that and you wanted to get involved, they do walks, they do fundraisers, they give out great information. They will come do trainings to students and parents and professionals. And then SAMHSA, or Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services. I don't know if y'all have used this or used trainings around this. They've got a really good website with a lot of good resources around mental health and substance abuse. They've got these great, what they call these tip books and they're different subjects, and you can download them, or if they're available, they can mail them to you. It's all free. It's a government agency. One of the things, if you have, I know y'all do a lot of tier 1 services and maybe even getting into some tier 2 and referring out for tier 3, but this self-check questionnaire, so that is something you can find. You can find it online, you can find it through DMH, or you can just search South Carolina Mental Health Resources. And it's a great resource if you're not sure, or a parent calls you and says, I don't know what's going on with my child. We went to the pediatrician, but I don't know what's going on. You can suggest that they do this self-check questionnaire. I think it's good to do it yourself, just so you've got a good feel of everything it asks and what is the outcome. It would be good if somebody's stressed or anxious, dealing with the pandemic. Maybe they, back in 2015, we had the flood, and struggling with addiction, feeling depressed, and you don't know where to turn. And South Carolina, the Department of Mental Health, and DAODAS, the Department of Alcohol and Other Drug Abuse Services, they offer this free self-check questionnaire. And then, depending on what happens, it actually can connect you with a professional counselor or a mental health and addiction service person. So that's one of the good things. Depending on what happens, it can give you suggestions about where you should go next. And then another thing, everybody texts, and especially all our kids text. They have phones, they can text on everything. The crisis text line is a great resource, and I tell my clients all the time. I see a lot of adolescents and college students. I'm like, text that line if they feel alone. A lot of times they may not actually be alone, but that's how they feel. So just texting home to 741-741, and they'll help you out. And if it's serious enough, and they will make sure that either 911 is called, or they get them to the nearest person that can help them, referrals, things like that. So that was my really, really quick kind of spiel. And I just want to, again, say happy National School Counselors Week. You all make a difference in the lives of students and families you work with each and every day. And thank you for being a school counselor. I worked in the, I'm so old, they called it guidance counselors back then. I worked in the school counselor office for 3 years of high school. And I'd like to think that's kind of how I ended up here in that helping field. So I really, really appreciate y'all. And I hope everybody else does too. This is my contact information, my office number, my email. Y'all can call me, email me with anything. Anna knows how to get in touch with me. And, I'm here this is my job. So I'm here to help, and I'm also very passionate about it.
Awesome. Thank you, Suzanne. So
you want me to stop sharing my screen or just leave that up there?
Leave that up for a sec. And
Okay.
then if any of our attendees have a question for Suzanne, you can put them in the chat. And if they type as slow as I do, let me ask a question. So Suzanne, let's say I am at a school, maybe a rural school that doesn't have a lot of mental health providers or a lot of resources right around the school. And I have a student who needs some help or some assistance, and I don't even know where to start. What would your suggestion be for someone in that situation?
Okay. So my suggestion would be, if you will talk to the parent, if they have a pediatrician or a family doctor, that might be a good place to start. If you have access, or that there's a county mental health center around you, they do have a referral line. And then there's also, I don't have it, I saw it and I meant to add it and I forgot, and I can send it out. There's also a really good referral line, or if they have insurance. One of the things that I have had to do because of just the mental health crisis and finding referrals is I have started reaching out to insurance companies and saying, this person, we can't find a therapist for them. And the insurance company helps us find a therapist. So those are just a couple of things I would do.
Oh, that's really cool. That's really cool. Okay, now stop sharing your screen so I can see your face again, please. No questions in the chat quite yet. I got another one. I've been in some schools and some districts that have these really robust referral guides for counselors to use as they're working with students. But that's a very school or district specific and created document. Is there anything that's like a statewide one pager of kind of like what that last slide that you were showing, what those are, and maybe some contact information or links on those? Is there anything like that statewide that we could provide for our school counselors?
That's a great question. And I can't honestly say that there is one, but I think that is something that we could probably work on. If I can definitely do some research and see if I can find something like that. I think the issue is it's changing all the time. So I like to update my resources frequently. But I will put that on my list to look for.
And I would be so happy to help create something like that because, and I don't want to speak for all school counselors, so I'm going to speak for Anna a couple of months ago. When that emergency is in your office and in your face, you don't have time to do a lot of research. You need something you can grab and go. So I would appreciate that. So, and we have two in the chat. Wanted to ask the same thing. Would love to have those resources to send out and maybe just an easy access point to get to those. And that last slide with us is if that was her contact information. Can you put that back up, Suzanne? I do apologize. I told her to take it down. But let's get it back up because again, if you need to get a hold of Suzanne and you don't have that information, you can always get a hold of me and I can hit forward so quick it would, make your head spin. Also, just a reminder that once this webinar is downloaded and done all the stuff you have to do in the top secret background, it will be posted on our Padlet. So we will have access to it there. And the resource slide also, can you go back a couple of slides?
Yeah, absolutely.
What a great idea.
Seriously, I, for some strange reason, love to present. I love to visit. And now people are actually like asking to travel, and I like it.
Yay. So what I heard, Suzanne, okay, let me use my counseling skills. What I hear you saying is that you would like the opportunity to come out and visit and share these resources in person. So yeah, that would be great. So what I've also learned is that Suzanne may be your best resource of all. So, again, she is so open to helping and excited to be at the State Department. And I was so excited to learn that her position had been created and just someone else to help us deal with all of these heavy social emotional issues that our students are experiencing now. So, well, our time is about up. Suzanne, is there anything else you would like to share with the group before we are done?
I guess I just want to reiterate that, I really want to help y'all. So I'm not just saying that because Anna asked me to come on here. I like to be busy. Mental health is my life. It is my passion. And I'm here to help. I love working with Anna. And thank you for everything that y'all do as school counselors.
And I heard your passion come through today, Suzanne. We know you want to help, and that is just amazing. So, well, everybody, look, it is 9:29. Look how well we did. I hope that y'all have the most amazing Wednesday. And I hope that you come back tomorrow. Our last webinar is tomorrow on some career guidance stuff. I got a couple of maybe little announcements to make. Nothing huge, but if you can come back tomorrow, that would be great. Otherwise, we are done. Thank you very, very much for attending.